Hello everyone, I welcome you to the class. In the previous class, we have come across the host based remote replication, in which we have studied the two types. Now we'll be looking at the second method of the replication, that is storage array based remote replication, in which we have again the synchronous replication, we have asynchronous replication mode, and the third one is a disk buffered replication mode. So looking at the first one is a synchronous replication mode. As already been stated, it is a name is a synchronous. That means the data will be intact with the source and the target. In this one, as you can see here in this diagram, we have the host, we have the source array, we have the remote array and the remote host, which have been not been connected to one another, but still the data transfer takes place with the help of the IP networks, or it can be moved from one point to the another point using the various network available. Now in this you can check that the first step is the production host is going to write the data to the storage array. From the storage array, it is being copied to the remote host. The second step, the same write is being transmitted to the remote storage array, and this remote storage array, the data for that is being written, it is going to acknowledge to the source, and the source is in turn going to acknowledge, that is write completion is again sent back to the production host. So this way it is going to help the data to be copied at the same time to the source and also at the remote side. The problem with this one is, if in case the network is going to fail, the replication will be suspended, the production work cannot continue because the data will not be moved to the remote site, or though it has been copied, it cannot be used because it has to write back to the host, it has to acknowledge that one. So the array operating environment is going to keep track of these writes that are not being transmitted to the remote array. So for this purpose, whenever the network links are being restored, the accumulated data is being transferred to the remote strategy, and using this one again the data will be used at the target site. Okay, so this is related to synchronous replication mode. The second one is asynchronous replication mode. Now you can check in this diagram, it is as the name states asynchronous. That means the data will be copied from the host to the storage array, and from the storage array it is going to acknowledge to the host back. And the same is being done. The first one, the host is going to copy the data to the storage array, it will be copied to all the disk that is been available in this one. The source array is going to acknowledge for the data that has been received from the host, and the storage array is going to transmit the data to the target array, and after all the writes is been received, then it is going to acknowledge, and the remote host can continue the operation using this remote storage array. Now when this all the data is being moved, the point comes here is how it is going to check that all the data is being copied to the remote storage array. So how it is going to manage, because at the same time it is not being moved as in terms of the synchronous mode replication, but here it is going to take some time and then replicate the data to the target. So for this purpose they are using the timestamp, and also they are using the sequence number for the given data. Whenever each and every time there is a write operation, they are involving the timestamp, please do remember, and the sequence number. So this timestamp and the sequence number is going to provide important information for the data that is to be written. So it is going to give the amount of the write is being done to the remote array. If in case that particular data is not being copied to the remote array, based on this timestamp it is going to check, and it is going to give back this information to the storage array. So this is how they are going to implement this technology to copy the data from the source to the target. And in between, please remember, they are going to use the buffers to store the data whenever before it is been copying, because the data has to be copied from the storage array to the remote array, and at that time in between they need something to hold that data for that particular period of time. But that was not been needed in the synchronous, because the data was being moved. But still yet, even there also the buffer is being needed, but here the buffer is very much needed, because all the data is being moved for this particular period of time. It will be closed and again it will be refreshed and it will be open for the particular time, and the sequence numbers are being updated. So when all the writes in the closed buffer will be transmitted, again it is going to copy the data back. So this is how the remote replication using asynchronous for the storage array base is done. Then moving on to the next one is we have disk buffered replication mode. In this disk buffer, it is a combination of both the local and the remote replication, where it is going to create a local replica of the device and then it is going to store. Now you can check here in this diagram. The production host writes the data to the source device, and from this one a consistent PTI, that is point in time local replica of the source device will be created, and this is going to act as a local replica. From this local replica, the source array data is being transmitted to this target array, and within this remote site again another point in time the data is being created and it is copied for the local replica, which is acting as a local replica for the remote storage. Okay, so this way they are been copying the data, because this is being done because the time whenever the data is being written from the source to the target, it is not going to copy as and when there are the writes. There might be a multiple writes and done at that particular period of the time. So at that time, instead of copying the data often and often, they set a particular period of the time, for example from 10 to 11, so that all the data will be written. But at that same time, when it is being copied from the source to the target, again it is going to take for 1 hour. Now for example, if I say from 10 to 11 the data is being copied from the host to the source, from 10 to 11, that means 1 hour of the time it has to be copied to the target. By the time it will be from 11 to 12, let us assume that 11 to 12, at that time this data from the source is copied to the target, and it is not that the source is idle at that time. So the data will be there from 11 to 12 at the source. Now this also data has to be backup and it has to be stored, and then it has to be written to the target again. So this is how the disk buffered replication mode is going to work. Moving on to the next one is the network based remote replication. So this is going to occur, the replication is going to occur at the network layer between the host and the storage array. So in this one, as you can see here, we have been having the host, we are having the local CDP, that is continuous data. This is a continuous data protection appliances there, and we also have the remote continuous data appliance both at the local site and at the remote site. And how it is going to work, the same as it used to work in the local replication, where the write splitter is going to split the data into the two copies, and it is being copied to the production volume, and then it was moved to the CDP appliance, and from there the data was copied to journal and the replica was being maintained. The same here also, in this also the same technique is being applied, where the replica is being synchronized with the source and the replication is going to start. Once the replication is going to start, the host where the host is going to divide the data into the two copies at the source and at the target, where it is going to move from here, and one copy is being sent to the local CDP appliance at the source site, and the another one will be sent to the production volume. And once it is being received, for writing, then the appliance at the source side, it is going to send it to the appliance, that is local appliance, so that it will be transferred to the remote site. Once the write is applied to that journal volume at the remote site, then using asynchronous, the appliance is accumulated, and if in case there is any redundant data, because in the asynchronous, if in case any redundant data is been there, that will be eliminated. So this is one of the benefit of having the asynchronous copying of the data, that is the replication. So these writes will be sequenced and stored within the corresponding timestamp, and the data will be compressed, and there will be a checksum generated for this, and whenever the information has to be scheduled or it has to be delivered, they have been sent using the IP or the FC network. So once the data is being received, this remote appliance, right, this remote appliance is going to verify and check that checksum, and it is going to check whether the integrity of the data is still existing. Then the data will be uncompressed and it is returned to this remote journal. So using this one, they are going to transfer the data from the source to the remote, and using this local continuous data protection appliances. So this is how it is going to once the data will be moved to this appliance, and it is going to acknowledge. But in the synchronous replication, what happens, the host is going to wait until that acknowledgement from the CDP appliance at the remote site is going to wait for the next one, right? So as it is being done, so if I have to explain you in terms of very simple terms, is from the host, please remember again, it is done using the synchronous and also asynchronous, right? Using these both methods it is being done. Simple, from the host the data will be split into the two copies. One will be moved to the source storage, and another one will be moved for the remote. In this remote, the local CDP appliance is going to transfer it to the remote CDP appliance. Before it has been transferred, it is going to calculate what is the checksum of this one, so that the data will not be altered. Once from this remote is been there, it is been copied to this journal, and that same replica will be stored in the another database, right? So this journal is going to keep the timestamp at what time the data is being there, and it is going to mention that whenever it is being request, the data will be transferred, right? If in case the data is being compressed, it is going to uncompress, and then it is being returned to the remote journal volume. So this is how the data is being transferred between the host from the storage array to the remote using the synchronous and asynchronous. If it is in case this asynchronous method, it is simple. The data will be written to the remote host from the, and also it will be transferred to the local, and the local appliance is going to retrieve back to the host stating that yes, I am acknowledging for the data, and later it will be transferred for the remote. So this is how the data is being transferred from the host to the source storage array and the remote storage array.